as you know, Recovolution is for the recovering addicts. So those that have addiction in their background history, recent or longer time ago, but are focusing on a healthier lifestyle, focusing on recovery from their addiction, which can be a lifelong journey. And what we found, especially after the pandemic of COVID, was that a lot of the typically offline activities moved online for lack of better opportunities in that period. So it was a big switch in the whole addiction recovery focus area from offline to online. And that did two things. It broadened out where you could reach other people struggling with the same things, but it also quickly showed the lack of any kind of dedicated space to go to for these kind of activities. So they've been a lot more sporadic with random Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, very person-driven for each initiative. And what we're trying to do with Recovolution is bring all of that together into one safe platform for recovering addicts to connect with each other. So a lot of that is facilitation of the whole recovery community in a safe and dedicated space online, and it's built by people that know what they're talking about. So a big portion of our staff is in recovery themselves. So we also built this software for ourselves, if you want. So that's really what it's all about. And from that point of view, from the social interaction point of view, that's where the GetStream products come into play. Because being a startup, we didn't want to build all this functionality base up, because our product is bringing all of this together and making sure that we create a cohesive, safe platform for all of these people. Not that we build the next chat functionality.
My name is Colleen Cassidy. I'm the Principal Product Manager for Undivided. We are an early stage startup, primarily based in California, and actually a little bit more specifically Southern California right now. We are on a mission to build software and services and really a system of support for families that are raising kids with disabilities. Our two co-founders, John and Jason, they're kind of startup guys. They had a successful startup in the past, met at Amazon years ago, so definitely tech guys. They had sold their previous startup, and they really were like, if we want to do this again, we really want to help society. It was actually pre-COVID, but they just really strongly felt there were so many areas that our institutions and organizations just don't really serve really big needs. And Jason is actually a father of, I think Noah's now 13, a child with disabilities. He has cerebral palsy and autism. And just raising him as his oldest son with his wife was just a huge struggle. And he always was like, I wish I knew then what I knew now, and what kind of benefits were out there, what kind of system I had of parents and advocates and things like that, and what kind of technology we could have been using to organize and gather data and things like that. I mean, eventually we'll scale into definitely more of a platform, self-serve, for families that just kind of need support and organization on an ongoing basis, is what we call the navigator service. So navigators are often parents that have kids with disabilities, or they come from kind of that sphere education, and they kind of work like coaches. They're assigned specifically with certain families. They help them organize, they help them kind of just organize their priorities and align them with goals. A lot of those goals are pretty common in this space. So we have a whole research and content team that is constantly just talking to experts, doing a lot of research, vetting things, and just compiling everything, because there's really nothing else out there that does this for parents. Often parents get an early diagnosis, and their developmental pediatrician is like, good luck. You don't really know what's next. You don't know what's going to go on with your school district and fighting for your kid. So these navigators have this really close relationship with them. They do have a monthly call that's usually over Zoom. even pre-COVID. So like we actually adapted to the COVID world pretty well because parents were like at home, like, please help me. So they usually have a monthly call, kind of plan things, unpack, see where they're at, see what's upcoming, what they can kind of get ahead of and plan for and things like that. And it's really just an ongoing relationship. We use chat really regularly. We kind of have what we call like power user, super engaged parents that are kind of on their phone, like on a daily basis, just checking in. We have that completely integrated into what we call like a digital binder. So you can actually attach through the chat and organize all their files and things like that, which has been a huge delight to our customers and navigators. So we're moving on to a really big phase of development. So we're really excited what's to come, but chat's definitely a really big part of that engagement and that personal connection.
This capability on a humanitarian level, I think it's so transformational. Like where, I mean, if you're looking at any kind of crisis where people are getting displaced and they have to go to a different country and they have to communicate with others, I think that this sort of chat functionality, which is often associated with like dating and gaming and other things, that it could actually, in this world, like this world of help and humanitarian effort, could actually play a very significant role, and do things on such a tremendous scale, in terms of helping people, that like for them, this, like, yes, it's great for someone like using a dating app to chat to someone before they go on a date, but it's like, but being able to find a place to stay, or figure out like what school to put their kids into, or like ask questions about like getting settled in a new city, or like these things, like these interactions, they're kind of priceless between people, right? And being able to facilitate them through technology, which Stream provides, is priceless. So I think that there is like the value that your team brings to Yes Help is immeasurable. Like it's just it's beyond like any sort of cost you can quantify. So yeah, I just want to say that, and please pass my thanks to your team and your executive team for being such a great support for our effort.